WJBW Orlando, the very first quasi-radio web show.
Yo, what's up? It's JB Webb. It is the JB Rev Show. WJBW Network's always proud to present the flagship show of what we do over here, talking with people, learning about our brothers and sisters every week, whether we got opposing views or the similar views. I love to think that over the last 9 years, we've probably close to 1,000 people, different people that we've been able to speak with. So we're getting those numbers checked. What is it, Ernst & Young? No, we can't afford that. Never mind. Anyway, happy to have this awesome session in studio. The Reverend could not be here this week, but in studio got across the way from their good buddy Late Night Lievano, and so happy you're here. How the hell are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me in today.
No doubt, no doubt.
Glad to fill in for the Rev.
Here is the skinny, my friend. We've got Michael Pilato in studio, and we'll get over to him in a moment or two. We're going to do actually something special with him as a local legend interview, and even though he's traveling, he definitely deserves this title of 20 plus years of pushing positivity into a scene. But after that, we have a call, 8 o'clock, with Durik of Kasson, and they're a local band here who I had the privilege to be able to meet and connect with. I think they're pretty cool. We'll play a little bit of music from them, and of course, all the while, we've got open phone lines. Whoops. Oh, that's right. Let me open the phone lines. Okay, there we go. It's 407-906-9328, 407-906-9328. Preferably during our interview with Michael, we're probably going to shut down the phone lines, but for now, we'll just leave them open because we're just opening things up. But Michael is in studio. How the hell you doing, man? I'm so honored that you're here, man.
Well, thank you very much. I'm doing great.
For real.
No, I'm blessed to be here. Thank you.
Well, what we do every single week, is try to learn about people and promote them. And they're always talented. They're always authentic. Your story in particular is fascinating. I can't really wait to get into it in just a little bit here. But prior to all that, how you like Orlando? I know you've been around a lot of different places. How's your time been here in Orlando?
I came in, like a lot of people, sadly to say, I was disillusioned. I thought it was, the parking lot of Disneyland.
Yeah.
And I just fell in love with it right away.
Well, that's good.
Thomas Thornsbakken, who's an amazing artist, they call him Thor here. I went to his event. The second day I was here, he had a group of artists like Andrew Spear, who's an amazing artist in Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
They were doing 49 portraits at the Falcon Bar.
Okay.
And I was able to see some of the talent here, and I'm just amazed by the artistic skill and the music.
Well, your resume is incredible. So Orlando's proud to have you, and furthermore, we're proud to have you in here. And we'll do a proper local legend kind of a session, even though the local part doesn't apply necessarily, but the legend does. Anyway, besides all that,
we've adopted him. He's local
there's
now.
Always, there you go. Thank you, Eric.
No, thank you.
Late Night.
No
I
problem.
call him Late Night. Thank you, Late Night.
You're welcome.
So then,
thank you, Late Night.
Yeah. So then there you have the question that I thought you posed before we get into the interview, and we'll kind of keep this running throughout the show, is do you get the flu shot or not?
No, I've never had the flu shot, but I'm contemplating it.
Knock on wood, knock on wood.
But you're saying that because...
Well, because I don't want the flu.
Yeah.
But I got the flu last year, and I don't want it again this year.
Yeah. So I think that's a good topic.
Have you had the shot?
I've had the shot. I didn't react well to it, and it was some time ago, though.
Yeah. Michael?
I've never had the shot, no.
Okay.
How do you feel about getting one?
Is it kind of like it's a lottery of a strain? They're like, maybe this guy will take on those guys, but we're not really sure.
I just, never. I guess as an artist, sometimes you use your money in different ways.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I never had the flu shot, and I rolled the dice. I mean, I just never got the flu.
They serve it at all the bars. It's the flu shot.
I'm telling you got to knock on wood.
It'd be Jaeger.
That would be a good drink.
Yeah, that would be. So make that up. All right, write that down. Coin that term. Okay. Yeah. We do take and play your original music from time to time, and that's exactly what our commercials are. So every week we try to talk about the talented friends that we have that run businesses, and we'll do that eventually. But local guys here, or Florida, Heavy Pets, cool little remix Bell and Robes did. So dig this. We'll be right back. It is the JB Rev Show.
all. The plan said that they will launch on us all, us all, us all, us all. There'll be nothing left when we get done here. There'll be nothing left when we get done here. The very last baby.
You're listening to the JB Rev Show.
All right, there you go. You are listening to the JB Rev Show. I am JB Webb at Radio JB Webb on the Twitter, and we're just going to bust right into our the union of hashtag art and music, 8 o'clock hour or so. We're expecting a call from Durik of Kasson, but right now we're going to get into a pretty healthy chat with our in-studio guest here, and I'm going to give him our humble little title of local legend. Local legend Michael Pilato, definitely 20-plus years pushing positivity into a lot of communities. And he's going to be able to give us the lowdown on that whole
well-earned title
session. Yeah, no doubt. And it's we give it to people here that have been 20 plus years doing something in Orlando as a local legend. So there you go. You do the gold medallion is in the mail, my friend.
Wow,
it's like that gold jacket you get at Saturday Night Live, but
that's incredible. 2 years into 20 years.
Don't put it into water. Okay. Anyway. But honored to have you in studio, man. Your body of work is just phenomenal. You have infected communities with art for the betterment of mankind, and that is how I feel about it. I mean,
Thank
when
you
review what you can online for what you have, basically, if people don't know, and this is why we do these local legend interviews, because we're going to get into your origins, but just in case people don't know, Michael Pilato has really been quite an influential force in pushing art as a healing force, I would say, because these murals are so intricate and so personal yet public that it really gives people, I believe, a sensibility of grafting, wounds, healing, shedding skin. So at any rate, without any further ado, welcome to our humble little studio here, Michael. How the hell are you doing? And thank you so much for doing this. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. This is a great area to have an interview, and I feel very welcome.
Well, good. That's
I'd just like to say one quick thing, though. There's for the last 24 years, I've been working with another artist. His name's Yuri Karabash.
Very good.
And the two of us together create the work. And really, we consider ourselves the paintbrushes, the community, and the people that we paint, and the subjects and the stories are the artist.
The process is amazing. It's almost like a journalistic to a degree, but maybe give us a sense, too, because we always love to hear about people, and how they kind of came up. Was art always a natural inclination for you, or when did you first start doing art? Was it, I'm drawing something on my mom as I'm coming out?
I've started pretty much. I have an identical twin brother.
Really?
Yeah, and he's a sculptor.
Really?
Yeah, he
That's
did the sculptures
fascinating.
at 9/11, the figures that were going up and clutching at the heavens at the Miracle
my
Church.
gosh.
He's amazing.
Well, that's remarkable.
Yeah, and so my sister's a dancer. It has one of the best
Oh,
dance
so
schools in
very
Manhattan.
Renaissance. Very
My other sister's a mural artist. My mom's an artist. My father's
really.
the whole family's artist. So I don't even remember when I.
So it's just ingrained.
Yeah, I think me and my twin brother, we couldn't read or write too well. My parents were like, "Well, damn, they could draw. We better support them in something," you know.
There's one thing they can do. Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny. Well, I think your skill definitely pays off in how you use it, right? Because like we were talking about, you kind of go in and you do a little bit of a, hey, what's going on in here? Give me all these details. And then you incorporate it in these, massive murals in some cases. But how did you first break into this with your...
Well, I was lucky enough in 7th grade to take a mural class with a teacher by the name of James Ritchie at Penn State and State College, Pennsylvania, a school called the Alternative Program, which was geared towards the arts.
That's great.
And I fell in love with it right away, being able to, I painted like Pink Floyd in my school and, the Kinks and...
Yeah, that's cool.
It was an alternative school.
Yeah,
They
like
let
that.
us do some pretty cool
Yeah,
stuff.
that's awesome.
Jimi Hendrix and really fell in love with it, and then started doing murals around town for money. And went to school for animation in Philadelphia, and then got a scholarship to go to Canada.
Wow, that's cool. Oh, my gosh.
Came back and founded Penn State's animation department. But my
Really?
high school roommate is here from Orlando. I mean, my college roommate, and we learned a lot more than art in college, put it that way.
Okay.
And I hadn't seen him for 30 years. And when Pulse happened, his wife, who was also a friend of mine in college, gave me a call, and she works with kids here at Park House, and amongst things,
Okay.
and she's a counselor. And she called me asking if I could come up and do a project in Orlando around the Pulse tragedy. And this was directly the day after I was doing something for Pulse in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, on a mural there.
Really?
And UCF had called asking a friend of mine from UCF, who's a professor there, if I would do a piece of the 2 students that they lost. And also the Justice Department here in Orlando. They were actually walking through the parking lot of Williamsport and saw what I was doing, and they painted 2 flowers for the 2 students they lost there.
Yeah, and the involvement is what's awesome.
Thank you.
And I guess the power of this. So you were saying you were younger, kind of. You took a mural class, had some good tutelage, as it were,
Yes.
and then kind of. Where did you kind of break out and go from there? You had mentioned. I know you kind of said it, but I think did I miss it?
There's one thing that really changed my life, and it was the art and healing aspects. There's a mural. The murals that Yuri and I are going to be doing around the world, they're called Inspiration. For example, the mural here that we're doing is called Inspiration Orlando United. Mm-hmm. The mural at Penn State's Inspiration State College, Inspiration Williamsport, Inspiration Virginia, et cetera, et cetera. But those murals are like the person that bags your groceries to the rocket scientist. You know what I mean? The person that makes you smile every day for 30 years. The people that are important in the communities, not just the famous
backbone.
people. And then within those murals, like the Penn State mural, sad things happen, of course, tragedy. And so the first thing that happened was I paint halos on people. You might have seen that one, the halos with Joe Paterno on the mural at Penn State, and that kind of went national. But anyway, a gentleman had died, and I went out to paint his halo. His name was Eugene Letter, a Penn State Renaissance person, sculptor, philanthropist, jazz musician. He passed away. When I went out there, my wife of the time called me and said, Michael, a young boy, had just been hit by a car right in front of Lederer Park, a park he donated that me and my brother would go draw at. So immediately I called the mother of the boy and said, I don't know where you go when you die, but I think Mr. Lederer and your son would have taken that walk together. I painted the boy in front of Mr. Lederer with his hand around him and put love on a chalkboard in front of the little boy that he was holding on to, and all of his teachers and friends and family came out and painted love. They still do to this day. His mom sits across the street and says it's like having lunch with her boy.
It's amazing.
And I felt the power of art. And that's really what changed everything for me. It went to a healing kind of thing.
Now, when you do these murals, do they give you free reign of whatever you want to draw, or do they actually tell you what they have in mind? Or
No, we have artistic freedom, definitely.
Oh, nice.
Some of the murals we do, people come up with themes, but for example, we're doing a mural now that's going to be announced next week for Orlando. It's called Spirit Creatures. Oh, cool. And we did one in Williamsport as well, and we love these murals because I lost my daughter 4 years ago in September.
I'm so sorry.
2 days ago, it was the anniversary. But when she died, a hawk flew 10 feet above me when I walked out of the hospital and hovered there. And when I decided to come to Orlando, when Shaman called me and asked me to come, a hawk flew above me, and I was like, it was the answer. I'm like, I'm coming to Orlando.
Yeah,
you know?
It's weird. Yeah, you see that kind of stuff in movies, but there is some kind of deep spiritual connection, I think, and you're probably 100% right. And I don't think a lot of people see that stuff.
Yeah, you know, if you're willing, you know, like a lot of the pulse moms are seeing cardinals and butterflies, and it's like I'm a spiritual person, and I think that when we lose somebody, they're in everything. You know, they're in the hawk, they're in the wind, they're
they
in
go
the
back
air.
to where they came.
And also they're in your soul.
Yeah.
They're part of your soul through memories and stuff. And sometimes there's reminders out there. So this new mural in Orlando, people have let us know different creatures that came to them, and they're part of that mural. But also the Seminole Indian and the natives here. We've learned the stories of what the creatures actually meant to the native people of this land.
Oh,
so
that's fascinating.
That's part of it as well.
The bear being one of them.
And Shaman Hurst is doing the curriculum for all the murals. You know, so there's curriculum that goes with the murals.
Wow.
So kids, when they come, there's a thing.
See, and that's really in depth because that's almost the point of it, right? It's tableau-esque to a degree, you know, and then there's little tiny, even more scripted stuff within the bigger picture.
You know, and technology makes it so incredible,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because you guys really, well, I know there's other people, but I think for the most part, as far as pioneering the integration.
Yeah, we're amongst the first people in the world to do what we do.
Yeah, so talk a little bit about that. That's a fascinating process.
I was lucky enough when I was working on the State College mural, again, a hawk drew me to a person, and then I got connected with Awe out of Canada, Srinivas Krishna, he's one of the top people in augmented reality.
Oh, wow.
And he's a part of our team here in Orlando.
Oh, incredible.
His app is called Geogram, that was inspired by the Pulse.
Really?
Tragedy, you know, people standing in front of Pulse and leaving stuff behind, but then, you know, it gets rained on and stuff. Like, how can you leave a message that will always be there?
It's digital memories.
Yeah. So what we're doing, for example, Bud Connell, who lost his son Corey Connell in Pulse. Corey wanted to be a firefighter, outstanding young man, great football player. Bud was interviewed right after by the news, by CNN, and, you know, he said, all I want you guys to show is this, or is me is saying this. And then he said, thank you, Orlando, thank you to the nation, and thank you to the world. You've helped us through this awful time. And all the news showed was his wife, Corey's mother, crying. Wow. So when you come up to the mural and you point your phone at him live, you know, on augmented reality, he becomes animated and he tells you exactly what he wants you to hear.
Fascinating.
You know,
that's badass.
It really is.
But more importantly, you know, than that, they're giving us, and other family members like Myra, you might remember Amanda, who you heard the gunshots in the background when she was.
Oh, the snapshot, right?
Oh, there's a little. There's a little moth now flying around.
See,
you are magical. You're
everywhere.
magical, my friend. Wow. It's magic. I like it.
But when you point at the hearts on the mural, who are the victims, the families are giving us like Snapchats. Musicians are giving us music about their friends. So it's all the arts. You know, the Blue Man Group's working with us to do a dance that comes out of the wall. So you can have poetry, creative writing, music, two-dimensional artwork,
and it's that highly interactive.
Yes.
And I like to, because I watched your TED Talk a couple times. People, if it's out there, and I shared it on the blog, but I watched it a couple times. But in there, you're saying like people painted over the word love. On the painting, where the word, and so people would just perpetually paint continuously
like
over
thick,
the word
you know?
love as becoming like this, 3D jutting out.
And that
from
was the
painting.
first, and now there's hundreds and hundreds of stories.
So, how
like
many
that.
murals have you done? Would you say?
I don't know, really.
Yeah, it's almost like us. We think maybe close to 1,000 people soon, but
we probably 40, 50.
Wow.
You know, we have the largest mural in the world, portraiture mural in Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Okay, so let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, that's the same.
How
The
big is
difference
that?
between that one, that was the first one, inspiration mural I did after State College. And the cool thing about that one was the community nominated the people in the mural. Like in State College, it was a thank you from me to my community, the people that inspired me, and then people that inspired the people within the mural that I learned about.
Yeah.
So the cool thing
like
with
so
the
many
new
layers.
one is like we had a huge board. We had community members, historians, teachers. I went into schools, old folks' homes, you know, VFWs, and people nominated people, and then we went through and out of hundreds and hundreds of letters, pretty much put almost everybody, because it's hard to judge somebody else's inspiration. But on that mural, there's over 700 people on that mural, all portraiture work, you know. There's a cross from the Twin Towers embedded in the mural, you know, that I was honored with from 9/11.
Wow.
Wow.
And the thing that's interesting about the work, you know, with tragedy, because I'm going back to that because of we're in Orlando with Pulse, is Yuri and I really, our paintbrushes are our weapon. You know what I mean? That's right. That's how we fight, you know, by telling these beautiful people's stories, where they were going, the family, where they are in their family members' hearts, we're pretty much saying F you to the terrorists, to the, these people do live on, I mean, they live on, and they live on stronger even in ways, and you can't tear us down. And it's like they say in Orlando, love always wins, It's so true.
Amen.
Conquers everything. Well, you're so welcome into this community, I know, because, we survive here because of the very spirit here. Kind of a thing. We've been going into the 9th season, and it's really solely because there's a lot of creative people here, and you can cross promote and talk and learn. But when you come forward with that same principle, and that's what I love about what you do, there's so many layers deep into the artwork that are so intimate and personal that it's almost like if you're not looking for it or paying attention, you're like, oh, what's going on? Or, I see something in there.
Michael, what is your opinion of the art scene here in Orlando? I mean, would you say it's pretty robust? Is it good? Is it okay? How does it fare next to Philly or any other place?
I find it outstanding.
Is that right?
There's
that's a good.
It's a very diverse group of people. There's still a little bit of that, with the urban fine art, which people refer to as street art, or there's still a little bit of the turf things going on. What I mean? But that seems
that West Art District is now blossoming.
Yeah,
right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, so
Milk District, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
My friend Leah over there, she's just kicking ass in charge of that.
So you'd say overall it's a pretty good culturally sound artist
I would
community.
say to anybody, it's one of my Yuri, who also I mentioned earlier. We love it here. We, the nightlife is outstanding. The people we meet, the conversations, it's
absolutely.
And it's what I like about it, because it is a more liberal community than the rest of Florida, pretty much, is that the conversations when you're out with other artists and thinkers and scientists and stuff, that the debates aren't as two-sided. There's a middle ground that can be met.
Yeah.
And I found that a lot in Florida, that people are willing to listen to each other and accept each other's ideas.
That's awesome to hear, because it wasn't always like that, right, JB? I mean, we remember back in the old days.
Yeah, I mean, well, my time here, has been pretty good. But I know exactly what you're talking about, because I grew up in like Daytona, where it was like you're not a surfer, you're poof, or something like that. It was always very machismo, a lot of that, and so that was kind of the hierarchy. But yeah, I think that here in Orlando we have a unique culture. LGBT community is huge, and that the openness of that culture, I think, kind of really impacted the art and music scene as well.
Anywhere
it's kind
you
of
have
a vibe here.
Anywhere you have
Plus, when it's
open
beautiful,
mind to that,
with the beautiful weather helps.
Yeah, the beautiful weather
your
helps.
disposition to be a little more.
Yeah. But you're right. The LGBTQ community, anywhere you go, any city that accepts that and opens their arms to it, there is more art.
Yeah.
There's more philanthropy towards
I think it's
the
just
art.
a natural. I'm not shut down. I'm open.
Yeah, I'm open. And also, I think I don't want to.
Anyway.
This might be putting people into a category, but I really strongly believe that the LGBTQ community respects and loves and promotes art more than any other.
Absolutely,
Oh my gosh,
without a doubt.
I agree with that. Oh my goodness, yes. Well, for sure. Well, Michael Pilato, you are a fascinating guy. I don't want to cut this short or cut it off in any kind of way, but we do like to stay a little bit linear. So, maybe in saying that, you've got a lot coming up that you're doing here in Orlando. So you've got a space here in Orlando as well. Yep. So maybe we could talk about that a little bit. And, I know that, everything you've already done is just epic.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, I mean, the beautiful thing is that you're still doing more in my mind. I love that. Yeah. I love that there's this appetite, right? To say, what else can I do? How else? And that's where the technology comes in, because you're kind of on the front. You're keeping the blade sharp. Right.
Thank you.
So you're welcome. So in saying that, what do you kind of, what do you got going on here in Orlando? What are you going to be getting up to here soon? I know that mural in Thornton Park, I guess, has come down in pieces now.
Yep.
And it's being moved. So maybe let's talk about that real quick.
Do you mind if I go backwards and forwards at the exact same time?
I'd love to see it. Let's Facebook Live it. Hold on.
Yeah, well, so Yuri and I, we've been working on a project called the World Mural.
Okay, right.
And we've been traveling the world and, doing inspiration murals, finding different stories. And really, it just shows that we all love the same, or stories are very similar around the world, When we're in Kenya, the colors are much brighter, the clothing, but still you have the same heroes, the same, person that bags your groceries at the grocery store.
Right.
But we were going to have it in New York, or Philadelphia was going to be the United States World Mural base. We've decided to move it to Orlando. So for 4 months out of the year, we'll be here every year.
Really?
The Public Art Academy, which is my nonprofit.
What is it? Public Art Academy?
Public Art Academy is now moving to Orlando. We have a great board of Orlandoans, amazing people. Royal, who's our board president, just got the whole mural that you're talking about that was at Thornton Park, Inspiration Orlando United, about Pulse. It's going to be printed life-size, high DPI, like a full-size print that can travel across the country. In Philadelphia right now, or in Washington, D.C., they want it on one of the Human Rights buildings, so we're negotiating that. The International AIDS Conference that's going to be in San Francisco wants it, different Prides festivals.
Really?
Wow.
And it'll all be augmented at reality as well. But one of the, I don't want to talk about what we're doing with that so much.
Okay.
I want to talk about what the Public Art Academy is going to do in Orlando. So one of Royal and Dina, one of their dreams is to have a mural arts program here in the city as well. So we've been working with Mayor Buddy Dyer to get a mural arts program going. And this program would actually have apprentices, young people that are very talented artists and have a future.
Have a potential.
And they will be our apprentices, but they will also make a living wage while they work with us. And learn, and we'll be performing them art. Yes.
That's remarkable.
Yes, and Orlando will be the
I love
recipe
that.
for the world mural. So everything with the curriculum, with the augmented reality, it'll be the first mural in the world to be done. It'll be done here, and then the recipe will be for other artists all around the world to be able to work with it.
That's amazing, Michael.
Yeah.
That really, I mean,
I'm just so proud to be here in our crew.
It's beyond words.
It's amazing.
So you're going to be hanging out here for a little while.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So that's the beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So we got you here. All right. So good. So
I'll be deep sea fishing too.
Well, I love too that you have the background in animation as a kid, and probably most kids kind of have this fascination with animation. I would think. Yeah. So did you ever do anything? Do you still have a hankering to do something with animation?
I wasn't that good.
Now that it's a little easier to do stuff, you know what I mean, with apps or what have you? Because I like the little clay guys. Let me show you here.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
This guy's actually a clay intern. He's been with me the whole time. This is Shockey, and say hello.
Hello,
Hi, Shockey. That's awesome. Claymation.
Hello.
That was the first animation I did was claymation.
Oh, really? Yeah. So here's a little piece of clay.
Oh, thank you. That's an honor.
There you go.
Awesome.
All right. So I just handed our guest here a piece of clay. All right, you sit there. But
it's funny you say that. It's John Hurst, who's
Okay.
Shaman's husband. He works for Disney, and he's part of our program. He did, Ice Age, the movie Ice Age.
Yeah.
So, the squirrel and the nut on Ice Age.
Yeah, that's great.
So he's the animator of that.
Oh, wow.
He lives right down here in Thornton Park.
Really?
And so on the bottom of the mural, the Pulse mural, is going to be a children's story. And he and his wife are doing the animation for the app on that and also illustrating it as we raise money.
Wow.
And they're so when kids come by, the more powerful stories above, they're going to learn a story on the bottom about unity and diversity, exactly what happened at Pulse, but not delving into it. Kind of like Henny Penny, the sky is falling.
Okay, right.
That was all about war, you know what I mean? That was bombs coming down.
Right.
But the children
Chicken
didn't know
Little?
that.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sky is falling.
So that's what we're going to do there. So there's
Interesting.
It's very cool. Kids are going to come out from Howard Middle School, do stuff from Manchester, Vegas, different
that's
things.
great.
Like send their.
I mean, and again, I think that's the most important aspect of it, and even too in an artist's mind, you're thinking of just doing the art, but you've got all the logistics of the community.
Oh, yeah.
And the interaction. All that takes a huge amount of time.
Oh yeah.
I got a quick question. Have you ever growing up done anything around Philly or wherever you grew up and been tagged as a graffiti artist or anything like that?
No, never.
So everything that you do is is authorized to
Well, I
be
think
done.
it's all legit
Yeah,
through the
it's
city,
legal.
through the community.
Oh, yeah.
He kind of
Yeah.
gets, hey, come here,
Yeah.
and bring us in. Okay,
Yeah,
That's great.
We
it's
have no problems with that.
yeah.
And we find walls for street artists.
And that's what's-
graffiti artists are the ones that do their names, Then you have urban fine artists like Andrew Spear.
Yeah.
So there's a
He's
lot of
good-
different levels.
Good friend of ours.
Well, you see graffiti artists, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I've seen a few in Venice Beach that are more than just graffiti artists. They're artists,
Yeah.
but they don't get the opportunity like you do to get paid to do it. And you
Yeah.
know, and
Well,
do,
that's interesting too, because with this mural, I haven't been paid. You know what I
oh
mean?
yeah.
So when my daughter passed away before Pulse, a year before, I had saved money for her college education, and she was a survivor of sexual violence, spoke out, and also huge in the LGBTQ community. And when Pulse happened, she's really who drew me here, and I used that money to do this project.
Oh,
so,
nice.
So it's not been financed by anybody. So we've raised probably like
Wow.
4,000, but we've spent 100+ plus, renovating the studio. So a lot of people are like, why did somebody pay an artist from out of town to come instead of a local artist? But, nobody paid us. Now, with the expansions on the mural, the board's making that happen because we weren't supposed to do expansions, but we fell in love with the project so much. We call our murals everywhere called living murals.
Okay.
Because we always go back to them when something happens to a community, a very important story, we'll go and add or
edit,
subtract.
Edit,
Like when we took Jerry Sandusky out of the Penn State,
okay,
for example.
that's a good example.
Yes.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
So
that's beautiful.
And in saying that, you're curating, right? I mean, it's almost the equivalent of when we find cave drawings, right? It's almost like we understand there's this primal need to kind of address things you can't control in a certain way. So I think it's primitive, it's ancient, what you're doing, and it's a beautiful art form, Michael. I mean, it really is. I almost have tears in my eyes because, I suggest people too go watch this TED Talks because I'm a big believer in art and the power of music too. That's why on this episode it's the union of art and music.
Nice.
We're going to talk a little later with a guy who's got a local band around here. But at any rate, the art side of it is really blooming for me just because of the fact that one of our sponsors a long time is Art Army, Artist Perigo, and he does murals and live performance art and things like that. So
I love live performance art.
Yeah, so just to kind of come full circle with you, I think that there's so much incredible stuff that you're going to be involved with. So anything we can do moving forward, feel
Thank
free to
you
loop
very
us
much.
in. Yeah,
I'd love to have
for
you
any
have
kind of
some
air
in.
support, or we can do a remote somewhere with y'all, or whatever. I mean,
It'd be great to have the school part of it.
I just really feel like what you're doing is so important, and like
Can I share an amazing story with you?
Oh, please, yes.
I think your audience would love a story of the Pulse mural.
Okay.
So we were in Puerto Rico doing our research. 20-plus families lost their children that live in Puerto Rico in the Pulse nightclub. And we went up there, and Myra Alvear was helping us translate. Neither you or I speak Spanish.
Okay.
And also teaching us about the culture of beautiful Puerto Rico. And Myra lost her daughter, of course, Amanda Alvear, in Pulse. And she gets a call from a mother. Myra's an amazing woman. She's helping on the moms of Pulse. She's bringing them together. She's a warrior. She's lost 2 children in her life, one of cancer and one at Pulse.
Man.
And so Myra gets a call from a mom on her phone, and Ron Rodriguez's mother, I'm sorry, there's a middle name in there. You're supposed to use 3 names, first and last.
Right, yeah. The mother's last name is also in the... Yeah, you're right.
So she gets a phone call and says, can you please put flowers on my son's grave? So we found out that the son wasn't buried where the ex-husband who lives in Puerto Rico told the mother. The son was actually buried in a very poor graveyard, not next to the grandparents. The father took the money. As soon as Patty Sheehan heard this from us, Patty Sheehan got him a gravesite here, and they're trying to figure out how to bring his body here, which was awesome. But anyway, so we go to this graveyard. It's closed. It's the middle of Puerto Rico. I jump the fence, and yes, please, more wine. And I jump the fence, and Yuri and Myra throw me the flowers. It's raining. I'm walking through mud. There's car tracks over the graves, digging through mud, picking up little sticks and tin, written on tin in Sharpie are the people's names. I can't find the boy. And I feel terrible because Myra's live on the phone with the mother. It's an hour. All of a sudden, Myra and Yuri go, Michael, look behind you. I turn around, and it's the most beautiful, perfect rainbow. And they're directing me from their perspective where the end of the rainbow is. And all of a sudden, Myra goes, Michael, right there. I look down, and it was his grave. And we have the whole thing on film, pictures of it.
Really?
So it's like these amazing things happen that we feel.
Like the confluence of these energies and this will.
And she's going, it's our angels, it's our angels.
I do. I think a lot of, life is about your will, right? If you're following the will of the master, the creator, or you're, also,
or Mother
what
Earth,
are you
or
following?
Allah,
there's all these.
Well, God bless Patty Sheehan. I mean, that's a good thing that she did. She's always been.
No,
I don't even live here, and I can vouch that she's been a contributor to this community forever.
Yeah, she's an amazing
Yeah.
woman. She's painted in the mural hugging Bud Connell.
We've interviewed
call her the great hugger.
her on the show, so
she's incredible.
You're the very good company. Yeah,
Orlando.
I'm not much of a politician
it's like Billy
guy,
Mays,
but
Billy Mays.
Oh, of course,
the great Billy Mays.
Of
We're
course.
doing a mural of him. It's going on Burton's.
Yeah.
But the
so let's talk a little about that.
Billy Mays, yeah.
Let's, because we've had Tony here in studio. Of course, recently
love Tony.
we've had Billy on the show a couple of times. So yeah, huge
so Tony-
place in my heart for that guy.
Tony
Obviously,
started
a lot of
the Billy
people feel
Mays
that same
Legacy
way.
mural project.
Okay, right.
We're working with Howard Middle School where kids are going to do a mural.
Those coming together.
Oh yeah,
That's great. I know we spoke with them like months ago.
yeah. We're still
it's
raising money
awesome.
for it. Yuri and
Okay.
I, we finished our part of it, which is the painting of Billy and a couple other pieces that'll be a surprise.
That's awesome.
We're working with the city of Orlando on something called Pelon material, which gets glued to a wall. It's a material. It's like paint. You paint on it, canvas.
Okay.
And right now, the city ordinance says that it's a signed material, so you have to pay thousands to get an engineer, which is just really not right. So the city of Philadelphia has a Philly mural program. They're going through with them to show that it's not a sign thing. So finally, we can hire artists. They can come in and do murals on a wall without a sign ordinance. And how perfect will it be that Billy Maines' mural will be the first one done this way.
I love it.
So, just his
I love
activism alone.
I just love it.
Yeah, and his heart is Tony's handprint is in his husband's heart.
Yeah.
Another local legend.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, without question.
And unbelievable, like what he did. He was a part of our board of the Inspiration Orlando, and Billy taught me a lot about the LGBTQ community.
I worked with Billy at the Orlando Weekly for a couple of years, and he's a great guy to know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, I think, too, exactly your point there. There's a lot of great stuff in Orlando, and there's a lot of people that kind of, just keep pushing stuff forward. Patrick Green. There's just these, seminal kind of figures that are just, constantly doing stuff. And that's what's cool about Orlando, too, is the age barriers, kind of go away a little
it's
bit
amazing,
here. It feels like. Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
I mean...
and people get along. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
young artists, old artists. And when I say artists, I'm talking about, musicians, dancers, poets. And there are some bars like the Falcon, Burton's, in the Milk District.
No, the Falcon,
where
that's
people,
a great little area.
artists go and hang out. And
Yeah.
you can meet other artists of all genres. And,
Have you been in that Nook yet? The Nook?
Oh, yeah.
On Milk District?
I love that place, man.
I've
When they do
only
the
seen
live
it.
art outside.
Yeah,
holy
that's
crap.
a cool. But that's a great example of kind of what you're talking about. It's
yeah.
just it's almost overwhelming. There's so much stuff to do in Orlando at any given point that you're like, oh my God, what should I do? Anyway, but in studio we are talking with freshly dubbed. In and out of state, almost let's say local to America, local legend, Michael Pilato. Dude, you're again so honored to have you in studio, man. Because again, your work ethic and the way that you approach things is just full of mastery. I will say I feel you have a master's in this whole sensibility of art because really, at the end of the day, you're creating a gauze for wounds or you're healing area or creating a way to kind of heal areas. What are some of the people over the years?
Being here in Orlando, the reason I'm interrupting is because it's hard to accept that because I mentioned earlier that I lost my daughter.
Okay.
And I was in a bad way after that happened, of course, like anybody would be. And being here in
I can
Orlando and working with the families of Pulse, especially the mothers,
therapeutic.
it's helped me just as much.
There you go.
And I was at the end of my world
Beautiful.
actually at one point, and now I'm at the top of my world.
Yeah.
Thanks to the love of Orlando.
Most beautiful. Well, my heart, goes out for the loss. And we truly, mean that local legend title because I think too, a lot of the times, especially if you're going to be like putting down a little bit of roots here, you're bringing a lot to the table with this whole world mural.
Yes,
is that the right term?
Yeah,
of it?
oh yeah,
world
yes.
mural. Yeah, you got so much stuff going on. What's the best way for people to kind of get involved with what you do? Is there a primary site you say go here?
Right now,
you had mentioned a not a charity, but a
public art
nonprofit
academy?
that you do. Yeah. So maybe tell us a little bit about that and the best way for people to interact with what you're doing.
Right now, we're switching it over from Pennsylvania to Florida, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
But we've already done it where we can accept money in Florida, and we're doing that through something called InspirationOrlando.com. It's also Inspiration Orlando.
InspirationOrlando.com.
Right now, the board is being vetted, which is just something that something you have to do in Florida. And once that's done, then the nonprofit will be 100% moved, the Public Art Academy, to Florida.
Remarkable.
We haven't put anything out there really publicize the mural or to raise money because, like I said, we wanted to make sure it was something that Orlando wanted, that the families wanted, that we were doing the right thing. Now we are very confident, just with all the tears and love that's been shared, that it is exactly what the families want. And so we're ready. We're ready to actually share that webpage and get out there and start promoting it.
So give it to me. Yeah. So give it to me once again. I'm going to look it up right now.
InspirationOrlando.com. And if you want to learn more about what Yuri and I do, it would be my last name, PilatoMurals.com, which is P as in Peter, I-L-A-T like Tom, O, and then murals.com.
Beautiful.
But both of those, since we've been so busy, they're not as updated as they should be. But our board, we're working on, getting, Valencia College and different people it's amazing how many people are coming to the table, by the way, that just, like when you need something in Orlando, there's somebody there to do it if it's for a good cause. And really, I think that's the light that shines. After 9/11, I was on the fire trucks with guys, and they're holding their dads are holding their kids on their shoulders. You're driving by and they're waving. Now, when I'm on the fire trucks in New York, we're stuck in traffic again. Right. So that whole thing, never forget. People do forget, and I have a very strong feeling with all the different places Yuri and I have been that Orlando is really going to show that never forget. And it's really going to happen. People aren't going to forget the love that is there, and that is always.
Well, people will. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that people will never forget because the art just lives on. I mean, long after you're gone, I'm sure, Michael.
And with the digital aspect.
Yeah, it'll be there forever. If assuming that the mural stays where it's created.
Not even like the mural. I'm not like it's like look at Alexander Love, who the night of Pulse wrote a song called Pulse, a great Orlando musician. The stuff that's come out after, the beautiful music, that's what I mean is like the art. Music is a powerful art device and poetry.
It truly is
I've
as well.
I've seen stuff that will, in my opinion, beyond the two-dimensional, the paint, that will inspire artists, young artists like me. A lot of the murals, the work that you've seen, Yuri and I have been listening to local music while we paint it,
Yeah, that's interesting.
So it's, and listening to the music, the people, we ask the family members, what was your son or what was your lover's favorite music? What did they like to see? So when we're painting that person, we're actually also trying to capture their soul through the music that they listen to.
See, and that's awesome. And with that digital kind of augmented reality in the whole mix, it just makes it phenomenal. Right. I mean, you can really get, you're creating little bubbles for people to kind of heal, ponder, think about, reflect on something, and that's healthy for anything. When you can't control stuff and it happens to you, the most healthy thing you can do is deal with it in a way that you're making it easy for people to do. So again, dude, I'm just so honored and really blown away at your talent, man. And so thankful that you're here with us. So go to PilatoMurals.com. Is it mural?
Yeah.
Pilato Murals?
Yeah, murals with an S.
Oh, it's not Pilatos.
No, yeah, PilatoMurals.com.
Oh, okay. Pilato.
Which is going to change again. That was like back in my ego days. Really, like I said, Yuri Karabash, outstanding artist, one of the best artists I've ever met. John.
Oh, there you are. PilatoMurals.com. Okay. And then
there's so many people.
InspirationOrlando.com.
Yeah. It's just amazing again that when artists come together, like Yuri and I, we work on every portrait together. So it's not like you look at it and that's Michael Pilato's painting or Yuri's painting, which takes a lot of the ego away, by the way.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the people that we paint, especially with Pulse, with families that are lost, they'll come and be like, can you make my daughter smiling or my son smiling or make them look more serious? Or that was a selfie picture that you used, so their part is on the other side.
Yeah.
So we work with the families and we love it, because we want them to smile, and then finally, when they're like, "Yes, that's it," then we've done our job.
Yeah,
I mean, when
you got to do a lot of detective work too to kind of find out stuff, and you got to hear a lot of stuff, and maybe be able to be wise enough to pick it out.
And what's
the
do
good
it on
stuff?
Days too. Like for example, we know every Pulse member's birthday, every family that we work with. So it's like we'll go to their Facebook page and say, "Hey, look, we painted this today for you." So if you can make somebody smile on a day they never thought they would smile, then that's a pretty powerful freaking thing. And that's really what we're trying to do, is produce smiles and produce good energy, take a negative and turn it into an unbelievable positive.
Yeah, and that's a brilliant thing to be able to do just in life in general. It's a great skill.
Yeah, it's something we should all.
You kind of, when you were younger, you kind of address problems in that same way, because you seem to really come from a place of deep understanding. With
yeah, I grew up in a very liberal, very artistic family and a very loving environment,
nurturing.
I was, in some ways privileged, because I grew up in a college town.
Yeah.
But also in other ways I was, with people from all around the world. My dad was in charge of the hospitality council and a psychologist, so we had people at our house every week eating from India, from Africa, from Fulbrights.
Yeah, that's great.
And then moving to Williamsport and dealing with the poverty, with the the Crips, the Bloods, where
the gangs were prevalent.
Well, yeah, and you deal with these things, but you also realize that through that the love is everywhere.
There you go.
You know what I mean? That like the news, like when we went to Moldova, for example, I'm going to Moldova. I'll speed this up, and we were warned about the sex trafficking, all this stuff, how terrible the country was.
Yeah.
Flying in, going to Frankfurt, there's 10 Moldovans there, no teeth, tattoos, black eyes. I'm scared to death. We get diverted into Romania. We land there. We had to stay in a hotel. I come down early with the bags. There's the 10 Moldovan guys looking at me, mean again. They're like, yo, American, come over. I come over. They're beautiful. They're in other countries working for their families. I said, why were you looking at me mean? They said, because you were looking at me mean. I realized the country was beautiful, so I sensationalized it. So we do that a lot as human beings, and we have to be careful with that.
Yeah, you're right.
And especially now. I mean, there's a middle ground, really.
Now more than ever.
Things,
people are indulging fantasy and think it's reality.
And we're fighting.
Now more than for the last 2 years, it feels like specifically.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, all right. Well, anyway, you, my friend, are an art star. Again, our humble local legend title we grace for you, and you're definitely going to be doing more great stuff here in Orlando, which is awesome to hear. So excited about that, and excited for the opportunity to keep kind of tagged up with you. It's PilatoMurals.com and InspirationOrlando.com. Michael Pilato, genuine pleasure. Can you hang out? You want to hang out for the next guy?
Sure, yeah, I'd love to.
You hang out with us.
Can I say one more thing, though?
Without
when
question.
You say local legend.
Yeah.
Really, again, I got to urge this. It's not just me. There's so many people that are taking part in what this beautiful mural is. It's
well, we'll get.
I feel very humbled that you say that. And I'm honored that you say that.
Yeah.
But really, that kind of
keep that humble spirit, because that's what's doing it. That's the glue that's bringing everything together. So it's just recognizing it, praising it. Don't worry about it. Go. That's what we do. We're just saying, hey, it's awesome. We're paying attention. You're doing some beautiful stuff. Anyway, here's a guy out of the UK. This is Prep with Who's Got You Singing Again. It is the JB Rev Show. That was a hell of a great conversation.
Absolutely.
Eric Lievano, Late Night Lievano in studio.
Thank you, Eric.
We'll be back with a call with Durik of Kasson. Hang tight.
It happened so easy at the start. Got too used to being understood. Then one day I caught you looking down. Couldn't reach you like I thought I could. I never knew why you gave it all up. Is that it? Was there something I missed in the silences? That we couldn't seem to break through. Should have known, needed more than this to hold on to you. Just tell me the truth. Who's got you singing again? Who put that light back in your eyes? Who's got you singing again? That thing you had. I wish I'd come back with the right lines. You threw down the blind. It's just a matter of time. I know that you've been a little restless. You're not the type to let it lie. But I'm here counting what I still got left. Was in the days when you gave it all up. Is that it? Is there something I missed in the silences? That we never seem to break through. Should have known, needed more than this to hold on to you. Just tell me the truth. Who's got you singing again? Who put that light back in your eyes? Who's got you singing again?
You're listening to the JB Rev Show.
Oh, some people are into that. I know there's a website.
Okay. All right. Welcome back to the JB Rev Show. I am JB Webb at Radio JB Webb on the Twitter machine. And that was a great session with Michael Pilato. We appreciate so much that we're able to kind of join art and music. And I was actually ran into this guy, and it's interesting how life can kind of connect you with people. I ran into this guy, and he's a talented guy. His name's Durik, and he sings with this band called Kasson. And I was like, hey, man, let's listen to his music. I'm like, hey, let's talk about it. So coincidentally and happily, I'm happy to say Durik and the whole crew of Kasson is on the line with us right now. So let's make sure we bring you guys on. How the hell you doing? Welcome to the JB Rev Show. Can you all hear me okay?
Absolutely. What's up, man? Hey, JB. What's up, man? How's it going? Yes, Durik and Jordan here.
Cool.
And Kasson.
Kasson. Yeah, good deal. So give us a little origin of the band. How long you guys been doing music?
Well, we actually been doing music for a very, very long time. I would say, for me, this is Durik. Since the age of 15, really? We started honing in on our instruments and stuff. And Jordan, how long have you been playing guitar?
I've been playing the guitar since I could stand on my dad's acoustic guitar, and he had to always pull me off of it when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we met up about 4 years ago. We worked together at the Hard Rock Cafe here in Orlando.
Oh, nice.
And Durik came up to me one night and kind of was just randomly like, "Hey, man, do you play the guitar?" And I guess I had a bunch of guitar pins on my shirt. Right. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, man, me and my twin brother Evan are trying to get a band together, and and we should jam. And so that's what we did, man. We jammed out, and we actually ended up going for like 8 hours that night till like 4 in the morning. It was really cool.
Longest jam ever. Like with any musicians we've ever played with, it was awesome.
That's such a cool story because our in-studio guest here also has a twin, Michael Pilato. So that's interesting. Yeah, like look at I love all the synergies.
Wonder Twins activate.
So yeah, Wonder Twins. There you go. All right, I'll bring you guys back up. All right. Paul. I just called Late Night Lievano. Eric and Michael Pilato are coming back into the conversation now. Okay, so I'm going to bring them in too. All right, so we're on the line. It's Durik, Jordan, and who's the other gentleman?
And Evan.
But
Evan's not with us right now. But
not with you.
So me and Jordan for now.
Okay.
Evan is our drummer, and he does all the lead harmonies. These guys as twins are quite the vocalists.
You guys are a three-piece, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so and they've got a great sound, I'll say. But so you've got like a little 4-year kind of a project going here, and you guys, I know, recently just had a great show last night at Will's.
It was so amazing.
Yeah, and so congrats on that. But give us kind of a peel back that onion a little bit of how that all came together, and then is everybody in accordance with the same music or sound, or somebody a little more because music has changed a lot, especially in the last 5 years.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, definitely. Man.
Yeah, with styles, we're always trying to stay on top of stay ahead of the game, because that's, as a creative musician, you have to listen to the new music and kind of know what's out there and stick with a classic instinct as well, something familiar with something new. So we just, we're always, trying to just be aware of what's out there.
Are you guys gigging out of town as well? Are you touring around the southeast or any?
We are working on it at the moment. We've been out here and there a little bit. We've been down to West Palm. We played some festivals all around Florida.
We played Sunfest, and we opened for AWOL Nation at Sunfest, which was amazing.
Oh, that was so much fun.
That's not a bad gig.
We opened for Young the Giant and some bands like that. So
really?
It's been fun.
Do you ever find, because you're a twin, that you and Evan connect musically outside of, you don't even have to tell each other what the next riff or the next tune is going to be?
or the contrary, do you guys end up fighting each other?
He's become like our
like Oasis.
So it's kind of a three-way connection, which is amazing.
That's great.
That's pretty cool.
What's the goal? Are you guys looking to get a record deal, or do you have
a record deal? Okay, Mr. 1990s over there. Bill Clinton's in office.
We're trying to do it Macklemore style.
Hey, we're going to get you.
You heard about Macklemore, but he actually got attention from labels by doing everything himself. We're a DIY band where we pretty much do everything ourselves, and we have our team that we built of sound engineer, lighting, and crew and merch and everything. We build our own merch and everything, and we've figured a way to to do that ourselves. And
interactive experience.
Sustainable.
if we get attention
Grassroots.
from labels, it'd be great. But Macklemore, same thing. He built a following, so we're really trying to build a following of people who want to have fun at shows and dance. And
and I didn't get to attend the show, but I saw a bunch of great images from your show last night. And I know you got some other dates coming up in October, which we'll talk about and get to. But there's a wide range of influence out there, and I think you guys try to really put a lot into your act. And what I love too is the original aspect of it, because it's not always easy to do original stuff. You end up somebody says, "Oh, this sounds like that. This sounds like that." But are some major influences to you more classic or more new rock, or what do you kind of you look at, like the Muse or the group the Muse? Did I just say the Muse? Yeah, I think I did. I sounded like a damn
Muse.
grandpa. Hey, what are we doing talking
Okay,
to
Mr.
grandpa? Yeah, they were
90s.
like, why are we talking to grandpa over here? The Muse. You know who I'm talking about? The Muse. Anyway.
Yeah, someone called us the Kasson band before, which is pretty funny. We're like, no, it's just Kasson.
Yeah, okay, there you go. So you get my
to answer your question, man, I actually come from like a long line of like classic rock influenced guitar, and I was big into like David Gilmour and the good Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin experiences.
Yeah.
But then when we started working together, we were trying to write music that was updated and like new and fresh, and if you listen to it now, the stuff that's available online, it's definitely like a little more organic rock feel, a little bit more like the U2 vibe. But Durik here is he's always into like kind of looking into the next curve with like vocalists. He's super into Bruno Mars and like Justin Timberlake and Adam Levine, and trying to get like those really nice, fun pop vocals.
Yeah, I'm digging The Weeknd lately too.
And then Evan, our drummer, is
chops.
really into like the hip hop stuff, and so he brings that element of just like really cool beats to the group, and I try to keep it soulful with the guitar, but really focusing on like just hitting like the newer, like funkier vibes and just having fun with it. Because when we play live, like we realize very quickly with our live shows that the most important thing is to have people dancing, having a good time, and that gives us a good time.
And we just want to have like crossover music where everyone can enjoy it, like how Imagine Dragons does it. They're great because they cross over music from hip hop.
Can I come paint on stage with you guys sometime?
Yeah, Michael wants to come paint with you guys sometime. How's
my
that?
gosh, that'd be awesome.
There you go.
That'd be so
we just
cool.
made that. That is.
We might have already met too, so that sounds familiar.
Michael Pilato. Yeah,
we did meet.
He did the Pulse murals. Yeah, but this is episode 270, the Union of Art and Music, and we did that for a reason because Michael's very prolific over there. But I think a lot of what you guys are doing too, in that you're producing a whole show, is very much akin to kind of what he does, because you're giving people an experience. You're giving them an interactive kind of sensibility. And like you said, you want to keep them moving, and you've got to kind of keep the tempo up and control that. Hey, everybody's feeling good, and that's not always easy to do. But
were you guys playing after Pulse?
I love it when they smile and everything too on the stage when we're just rocking. That makes me smile, and that's what I tell them too.
Yeah, if you guys or any of the listeners want to get a little sneak peek into our show last night, I know somebody got on our Instagram and did a little live show and threw up some stories as well, so you guys can see like a solid 20 minutes of what we were doing.
Yeah, that's perfect. And
really
we're gonna roll into a track after our quick chat here with y'all, but. You guys have some upcoming gigs, right? In October. What are you guys doing? Where are you going to be at?
We're playing at the Immerse Music Festival. It's like Music and Art Festival. It's a brand new festival, so I know some people probably haven't heard of it. I believe this is the first year they're doing it. But it's pretty much taken over downtown Orlando, which is amazing.
Yeah, there's going to be all kinds of stages set up. We're rocking the main stage both Friday and Saturday night at, I believe, around 11 p.m., I believe is around the time.
Yeah, October 19th and 20th. So put it on your calendars, everybody. It's free and all ages.
That's great.
Calendars.
Yeah. What do you? Calendars.
What's that?
Dude, bring your dog.
And that's when the weather's going to be nice, too.
Yeah, that's exactly right. When is that again?
Casson Milcone.
That's October 19th and 20th. It's a Friday and Saturday. And we're playing
is that like a street festival that lasts all weekend?
I think they shut down downtown. They've done these Immerse thing, I think, before. Yeah, it's kind of Creative City Orlando deal where they kind of just shut it down, and they got all kinds of people doing all kinds of stuff.
And where's the main stage? Is that like on Wall Street?
It's by Morgan & Morgan.
I believe it is.
Oh, nice.
I believe it is the one near Wall Street.
Yeah, we're going to be posting everything like that really soon, honestly, the next few days.
Well, I know it
all the
takes a lot.
information on our Instagram and
You
Facebook.
guys bust your ass. So thanks so much for giving us some time, man. And when people go get to see you, they'll exactly see what we're talking about, or on through Instagram. It's an experience. It's and it's again much refreshing here in Orlando. So kudos to you guys. We appreciate the fact you're able to give us a little bit of time, because like you were even saying, curating all the social stuff after you do the rock star stuff is like a full-time
Right?
job right there. Yeah,
It's fun. And by the way, we play at the House of Blues maybe one time a year or two times. We're trying to play more. So, keep that posted. We get free tickets when we play the Orlando Rock Show for people. So
Beautiful.
and that's fun.
Okay,
Put that
and
on
they
my
can
calendar.
do that, Kasson, Kasson. Search that on
Kasson.
Facebook. Kasson? Wait,
Google that right now.
what, I've been saying it wrong?
Kasson Music
Kasson.
is how you can
Oh,
find it.
But,
I'm saying,
Kasson
why am I
sounds good.
saying
It sounds like a
Kasson?
croissant.
Yeah, I'm saying Kasson. Yeah,
I like Kasson.
I'm sorry, that's how they say it in France. Then there you go. That's a, Kasson, but it's actually Kasson. Wait, hold on.
Kasson.
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 Yeah.
All right, that's cool. What does that name mean?
It's actually so it's a street that me and Evan grew up on, and when we were
Okay.
kids, and in the mountains of New York, you'll drive up on this one windy road, and you'll see on this beautiful lake called Canada Lake. It's called Kasson Drive, and it's where my grandfather built a bunch of houses. And
Wow.
so to us, it means wisdom, strength, and things like that.
Brotherhood, family.
Yeah.
Kasson. Oh wow, that's pretty dope. Well,
Yeah,
cool.
that's
That's a good. Now here's what I want you guys to do. All right, because I'm gonna have to bump out of your call because we're gonna stream this track live from my desktop, Grandpa's desktop computer here. So we'll get this all queued up. But if you guys want to give us any kind of intro into this track, it's Mirage Bounce. Is that right?
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
called Mirage.
Mirage. Oh,
Yeah.
what does it say? Bounce here.
And
Oh,
just,
okay.
we recorded it at Voids Studios, and it's not fully mixed yet. So,
Okay.
definitely keep in touch
It's a
with that.
rough mix.
So the song Mirage, it's
Perfect.
basically the idea of, okay, being a musician or an artist or someone that's going for your dreams, you always, you think you're close to something, your dream, and then something happens. In life, there's roller coasters. But finally, you just have to keep going for it, no matter what. Like a mirage in the
There you
desert,
go.
you
Okay.
feel like you're
Amen.
getting close and it disappears.
Yeah.
Just keep going for it. And
Don't
one day
stop.
you're going to get to that.
Yeah, don't stop. You're going to get that German lady offering you beer in the desert.
Yeah, don't stop believing.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly it. So, guys, listen, I normally say hang on the line. I'm going to bump you off here so I can stream this track live or bring down all our mics, but appreciate you so much. Go. We want to turn people on to Kasson. And,
Kasson.
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 Okay. All right. Well, here's their track. We'll be right back.
Sink or swim, I'm jumping in. Are you with me on this? Or are you with them? I don't have much time. I need to know right now. We're all in this now, all here together, braving the storm, surviving the weather. Am I seeing a mirage? Am I caving in? Are my eyes playing games? No, I cannot win. Am I seeing a mirage in the desert wind? Oh no. Just open the door, I'll climb through a window. This plane's going down, so hold on and don't let go. Oh, oh. Don't be scared, don't be frightened, 'cause I am here. I'm not just a passenger. Am I seeing a mirage? Am I caving in? Are my eyes playing games? No, I cannot win. Am I seeing a mirage in the desert wind? Oh no, oh no. Am I seeing a mirage? Am I caving in? Are my eyes playing games? No, I cannot win. Am I seeing a mirage in the desert wind? Oh no, oh no. Building a fortress under the sun. Thinking of ways I can save everyone. Digging for truth under the moon. When I saw in the sky a giant balloon, I saw a mirage out in the desert.
the electronics is so predominant that people would really prefer that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do. Welcome back at the EJB Rev Show. Back in studio, Late Night Lievano, sitting across the way, man. What'd you think of Kasson? Am I saying that right, Kasson? What did you guys think?
No, pretty good.
Kazam.
It's pretty good.
Shazam.
It's good. No matter, if these kids are hungry and they're making their mark.
I mean, it was.
And fucking, that's what else can you ask for?
It wasn't unpleasing, I guess. Right? It was like
fluid. I mean, even if they suck, which they don't.
They don't.
They're making their mark and they're doing their thing, and that's all.
There you go. And that's what we do every week is promote earnest, authentic, hard-working, talented people.
Yeah, and you can feel their energy.
Yeah.
They got good energy.
And for the record, they didn't suck. They were good.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, thank you, Eric. That's it. So if anybody's got some musical clout in the room, it's definitely Mr. Late Night Lievano over there.
Hey, I would tell you. I'd be honest if they suck. I told you. I sat there with the headphones on during the break, and I listened to them, and they were good.
Yeah, well, that's specifically why I asked you. So, all right, well, we still have Michael in here for a little bit of time. So before we go to news, were there any other things that you might have wanted to cover or share with us?
You got anything coming up that people can come see or be a part of?
We're starting to put the new mural up right next to the Dr. Phillips Center.
Okay.
Which is
so this is the one
building.
that was
Spirit
in
Creatures.
Thornton Park?
No, it's called Spirit Creatures.
Where's that one going?
It's going to be going right next to the
Dr. Phillips
Center. On the tax building with a parking garage.
Oh, wow.
All 4 corners. There's going to be 8 murals. We've been working on them for 6 months now.
Yeah, you were saying.
So, watch that as you're driving by. You'll see us up there on the lift. Just braving the wind.
Making it happen. Well, there's a better time to do it than in the heat of the summer, I guess, right?
Oh, yeah, right, exactly.
But, yeah, at least it's
it'll start October 16th.
More
so hopefully
pleasant. Yeah,
it'll be good.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, that's what they said. Weather's going to get. I know, and we're bitching in Florida, but I think the whole country feels the heat. This been a pretty hot summer.
Yeah, but I guess if you're asking one thing for me to say is just thank you, Orlando. That's really what I want to, for accepting us and for having such a beautiful heart and opening your arms to Yuri and I, and we really feel.
What's your partner's name? Yuli.
Yuri.
Where is he from?
From Moldova.
Oh, okay, and he of course lives here, correct?
Yes, he's been living here for the last 25 years.
Where's he at tonight?
He is at the studio.
Is he in the car?
He's at the studio.
He's been waiting in the car.
He's either actually, I think he's at Thornton Park having a block party.
Oh, really? At Thornton Park. Do we want to prank call him? Hold on. Let's call him. Just put your phone up to the microphone. Right, we'll punk rock call him. All right, so we're going to try to punk rock call Yuri, just to tell you, hey, you're on the show. We love you. Thanks for doing your art.
This could get interesting because you'd be like, "What? What's going on?"
Yeah.
Does he have that accent?
Where's your little speaker on that? On the bottom?
Yuri, Hey, Yuri. What's up? Not much. You're live on the air.
Yuri.
Oh, hello.
Oh, wow.
Yuri, where are you and what are you doing?
I'm at this little dinner outside.
At Thornton Park?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about it, Yuri.
About the party?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
that's like regular, Michael, remember? It's the same bunch of people.
Same group of people?
Hey, Yuri, tell the people out here what you think of Orlando and what you think of the project.
Well, we love Orlando. Of course, it's so different after Pennsylvania. And the project, there's something new. We've never really done anything like that. It's a great experience for me, at least.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're working with the real people after something terrible happened, and it's something new for me, definitely. It's very touchy, very deep, and it opens something in me by doing this work.
There's something very, very soothing about your voice.
Yeah, we love you. You're doing great work. We love you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Enjoy your dinner, Yuri.
We're like, let's call Yuri. Oh, that's great.
Yuri, save us a seat. We're coming down.
Yeah.
Save me a yin and lager.
Yeah.
Yuri.
Yes.
There is no lager here.
We're on the way. Oh, no. Oh.
Damn.
You know, it's a lot of kids.
Oh, gotcha.
And Shaman has her little bottle of wine that usually.
Right. And We've been
so
doing the same thing here.
I wish I had a beer.
I'll be there soon, brother.
I
I'll
wish
bring
I
you
had
one.
a beer.
Bring 6 pack.
Okay, bring a 6 pack.
All right, I love you, Yuri.
We love you, buddy. You're doing great work. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
All right.
so much.
That was great.
All right,
See you
bye
soon.
bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
That was great. Thank you so much, Michael. That was awesome.
Thank
That was
you.
a little impromptu. It was fun.
Yeah.
We just called your buddy that you do these murals with, and he is definitely deserving of a little bit of love.
That's
too.
he's got one hell of an accent
He's
too.
like, there's
Yeah.
no beer.
Where's he from?
Bring beer.
He's from Moldova, Eastern Europe, right next to Romania.
Dude, that accent is a panty dropper.
You know what's interesting with Yuri? It's like every September 11th, I work for 48 hours straight. In different communities about tragedies.
Yeah.
And he's not there with it. So when he says that this is the first mural he's done, usually the murals we do together, like I said, it's the person that bags your groceries to the rocket scientist.
Yeah.
And there's small parts of those murals that are art and healing that I've primarily done the art and healing parts. So this is the first experience he's had in the 24 years where 100% of the mural is working with families, working with
incredible.
it. And I could see the strength within his art. His art is getting so much better. I mean, he's already amazing. So Orlando's definitely blossomed him.
Yeah, okay. The subtropical climate has allowed him
His
him
petals
to
to
flower,
flower.
yes, fruits, if you will, or whatever,
Yes.
whatever you may have. All right, well, cool. Well, let's do this then. While you're still here for a little bit, I guess we got you for another 5 minutes or so. We'll go into some news. Yeah,
Perfect.
all right.
And now, breaking news. Badly.
Very badly.
All right, there we go. We just read a couple of news headlines.
Badly.
Badly. Yeah. And I think I read all these last week. Oops, I forgot to delete them. Okay, hold on. Let me scroll down here. Wow. Here you go. Here's a good one. Coke could make a move into cannabis-infused drinks. This is from money.cnn.com. And what do you think of even just that thought? Corona Brewer
Don't like it.
Invests $4 billion.
Don't like it at all.
In marijuana company.
No.
No?
No, I think
Why don't you like that?
I don't know. I just don't like the big corporate takeover like that. I think maybe the small business guys.
They're gonna really. I mean, what are they gonna put it in beverages? You're gonna. I mean,
no, they're
this is
just
like
going to
a
dominate
new-
the industry.
Isn't that interesting, though? Because it was like Coke started with actually
Right.
cocaine in their products.
That's kind of my point. Yeah.
Maybe they'll come back with that.
Yeah. Now
That'd be
they're coming
great.
back with the cannabis.
I agree with you, though. I
Is it
agree with
gonna
you.
go back to-
Yeah, I mean, they should let the little guy make some money.
I agree.
Fuck, come on.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I guess I see what you're saying.
There was an article in the Sentinel like a couple months ago, Orlando Weekly, about a group of people out of Orlando doing beer that's made out of cannabis.
Is that right?
Yeah, and it's like it doesn't
That's
give you a
great.
hangover.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's kind of like I heard that R.J. Reynolds was tapping into that industry as well, and R.J. Reynolds is notorious for selling cigarettes. So it's just let the little guy make some money.
Do you know what's interesting about R.J. Reynolds? So they have the Whitney Museum. They own that.
Yeah.
So it's
we vote against that, JB.
Yeah.
We're against it.
Yes.
Well,
we're not for it. We're against it.
all right. Well,
But I'll drink it.
the Daily
I will
City.
too.
I'll try it.
I will too.
DailyCity.com has another
420.
article here. Oprah Channel TV show to film inside Sodo Diner. You guys hear about this? Carol's Place in the Sodo area.
Oh yeah.
I guess you've heard about it. I guess anyway. So it's
No.
supposed to air in 2019. I guess Carol's Truck Stop.
And Oprah's gonna be there?
Winfrey Network TV show called David Makes Man is currently filming in Orlando.
But is Oprah going to be there?
I don't know. That was early September. Anyway, it's October now. So there
Oh.
you go. And I have this cool thing.
My name is David Hogg, and I'm standing in front of the most incredible piece of art I have ever seen in my life. The amount of symbolism and emotion behind it is incredible. These stories of these individuals live on through this piece of art. And oftentimes when activists are in this realm of work, it's hard to understand you're around death a lot. And you ask yourself, how does your story continue after you die?
Wow.
And I realize
What
now
the
that
fuck
your
is
story
this? It's
doesn't
tripping
end
me
after
out.
you die.
Hold
Your
on.
story
Let me stop it.
continues.
Hold on. So that's David Hogg in
Yeah, that was
front
amazing.
of Michael Pilato and
Oh.
Yuri's mural in Thornton Park.
Yes.
And David Hogg is a survivor of the shooting in
I'm sorry.
Parkland.
I gotcha.
Parkland shoot. Yeah. So it was very emotional, but I saved that as a news story for some reason because I'm glad you're here to hear that. So,
Yeah, thank you. It is actually a news story because we're
yeah.
partnering with David Hogg and And this young woman, she's only 16 years old. She does the art for the whole, March for Our Lives.
Is that the kid that was online that people were trying to say that he was an operative?
Yep.
Yes, that's him.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no, I know who he is.
Yeah.
I know who he is, and I'm just glad that they debunked that whole thing.
Right.
Yeah, but he still gets those messages. It's crazy.
Is that right?
It's like Christopher Hansen from Pulse.
Yeah.
They made him look like he was an
operative
actor.
Oh no,
Sandy Hook, the whole thing. These people are just awful people.
They are.
And just, oh god.
All right. Well,
now those kids at Parkland.
I like this next one.
They they formed a movement.
Yeah,
they formed
did.
a movement.
They were heard.
And they're gonna be heard coming up here at the midterm elections.
Very
I
impressive.
guarantee you.
You're exactly right. Yeah,
I'm so
and the
psyched
numbers
about these
are
kids.
all these kids turn 18 before November.
I know, right?
Absolutely.
It's like, guess what? Anyway, so
and how well spoken they are.
Yeah.
They're
Absolutely.
Really, it makes
they're
you proud to be an
organized. They're
American.
well spoken, and they're gonna fucking. And they're going to make an impact. I promise you that.
They
Without
are.
question.
They are.
I think you're right. And so that's hopeful. Children are our future. Whitney Houston.
Children
Bobby
are
Brown.
our future.
NPR.org. Texas company will send 3D printable gun files directly to customers. This is from later in August, but you may have heard about this story. It's a company is the center of a lawsuit over 3D printable guns that will send plans directly to customers. Its founder said Tuesday that comes a day after federal judge blocked the State Department from letting the company publish files online free of charge. That's pretty freaky business.
That is freaky, but
What do you think?
is that news? That's not current news, is it?
No, that's within a month.
Oh, okay,
A
okay.
month ago. It's not. It didn't just necessarily happen. Breaking news badly.
Very badly.
It's a month old.
Very oldly.
Yeah, very oldly. That's a good way to say it. Anyway, that's
That guy's currently in jail right now. I heard.
Who?
Yeah. That guy that's trying to sell those 3D guns.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he really?
He is. Yeah, he got
since that story. He's
been picked up for
like
having sex with an underage girl or something like that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Christopher Hansen.
Yeah, could it be?
Hey,
Could
why'd
it
you
be
come
another?
here with Mike's Hot Lemonade and a pack of condoms?
Why don't you have a seat over there?
Okay. All right. So here's one more. We'll keep it a little less lighthearted. There's currently a massive prison strike to end legalized slavery. This from BigThink.com. The
Where that?
article goes
Legalized
on-
slavery?
Yeah, the article
Where's
goes
that
on.
happening?
Basically, prisons in South Carolina and the U.S. are, as a whole, are reaching a tipping point. In South Carolina, especially, the number of inmates killed in 2017 was double the number of inmates killed in 2016, quadruple that number in 2015. The expenses of running a prison, $33,000 a year per inmate. The quantifying make it difficult to offer the wages necessary to attract sufficient staff, resulting in the kind of overwhelm paralysis that prevented correction officers from interviewing at Lee Correctional for 7 hours. Anyway, it goes on to kind of talk about how this model of prisons is big business, yet they're saying it's failing, right?
Yeah, it's failing.
So, I mean, but I think an article like this is designed to, almost then, let's privatize it, right? Because a lot of it is already
Most of it is in Pennsylvania.
privatized.
It's
Anyway,
like-
yeah. So, yeah.
Can you imagine teachers actually make less than what we're giving our prisoners?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's a great point, Michael. That teachers make less than what it costs for them to house a prisoner annually in South Carolina.
It's nuts.
ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I just think a massive transformation of that concept of jail or punishment should really be involved, kind of like you approach tragedies.
Mhm.
In a real holistic and healing kind of a way.
Yeah, more empathetic, I think.
Yeah, well, maybe a little bit more. Let's get you on the right track, but
Especially for the drug parts of it, and
Yeah, the
with-
problem is,
with
yeah,
heavy crimes like rape and murder, like you put those people away. But
Yeah, you don't wanna be around
a
those
kid that's
people.
got an eighth of pot that's in jail for 4 years. Isn't really
Yeah, the guy's got a couple hits of acid now. He's doing.
Yeah, it's just what the hell is
He's
going
just,
on? That
taking,
he could be the
But-
next Einstein.
narcotics across state lines.
But look at the. It's a profitable thing, I guess. So you get the guy with the acid, and he's in jail, and they're making money.
Yeah, he's stamping license plates for 17 cents an hour.
Right.
I don't like that.
I don't either.
Well, you see, and that's where I guess they, bring in kind of the, legal, the legalized slavery, where it's like, if they're paying them 20 cents, right, they're
Yeah.
making $40 an hour off of them or whatever.
Exactly. It's ridiculous.
It's just shameful. So anyway, I think that's a big problem we'll see coming up down the line. But again, to try to keep it a little lighter, a little lighthearted. Hold on. Wait. I think you've heard about this. Did we talk about that?
But wait, can't they earn Twinkies and cigarettes? And
yeah, honey buns.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So
cigarettes is a big thing.
In jail? Well, you can't smoke in jail.
They do.
All right, so I think this already happened.
I'm pretty sure they drink and smoke and do drugs in jail.
We'll kind of close out with this one. Hold on. This was published September 20th.
Remember Oz?
I didn't see it, but it was the world's largest impeach Trump banner flies over Orlando this weekend from the Orlando weekend.
I didn't see it
that
either.
was closer last weekend. I don't know if that happened. I didn't see it.
Was that the Skywriter that usually does
Mad
Rosie
Dog
O'Grady's?
PAC. No, it's supposed to be like a banner.
Oh.
Anyway, I don't know. I didn't see it here in Orlando. But there you go.
Was
That's
it effective?
exactly,
Is he still in office?
Yeah, did it work? No. Okay. Let me close out here. We're going to do a little sponsor crawl. We can come back for after hours after Michael has to depart here. But hang on. Where the hell's my music? There it is. As always, I want to thank our sponsors that we work with and talk about. PocasHottest.com, PocasHottest.com. Finest hot sauce you can get your hands on. ShannonHoltArt.com and ArtArmy.org. Modern Music Movement.
Nick.
And Ear Theater. Also, let's not forget Dank Orlando City Smoke Shop, downtown Orlando, and Kush Ultra Lounge. We are also doing BadassSandwiches.com. BadassSandwiches.com. And who else? I think I forgot. Oh, Nora's Sugar Shack. And one more, Hanau Contemporary Art Center over there, Hanau. Yeah, so go check all those guys out. Do what they do. Mr. Lievano, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, buddy.
Much love and respect.
Much love. Thank you.
And Pilato over there, thank you so much.
Michael, thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful little set. I'm going to bump into some original sounds here. Let's keep it jazzy, a little Fat Night. Yeah? What do you think about that?
Perfect. Fat and jazzy?
Peace and love.
Not that much. Enjoy.
Doing the best I can. Doing the best I can. Something mutated when I was created. Because the two of you don't share one selfish sound. Loving and lusting and thorough jaw brushing. You never knew your boy was raised so well. Saturday AM, you wake up, volunteer all over town. Saturday PM, I rise up from my coffin in the ground. If actions speak louder, then I'll hardly make a sound. Stay up for just enough so as not to drown. Most I could ever hope to do is follow the model set by you. I don't want to waste your time. Most I could ever hope to do is follow the model set by you. Me wanna be, me wanna be, me wanna be an honest man, honest man. Doing the best I can, honest man. The best I can. Don't care much for karma. Don't believe in the promised land. What's it gonna take to make me an honest man? Wondering how the hell I ever got a hold of you. We stayed high, maybe that's why you stayed so long. Overtaken by complacency as boredom took on you. I stayed oblivious until you were already gone. Moving is hard, but stagnation is harder. I can no longer be a burden, can create no more martyrs. I need a light, cause I'm no self-starter. Hope I figure it out before I'm someone's father. Most I could ever hope to be is that to you what you were to me. To your life what you were to mine. Most I could ever hope to be is that to you what you were to me. Me wanna be, me wanna be, me wanna be an honest man, honest man. The best I can. loving. Good loving. Man, doing the best I can. Man, doing the best I can. Man, doing the best I can. Doing the best I can, the best I can. Doing the best I can, the best I can. Doing the best I can, the best I can. Don't care much for karma, don't believe in the promised land. What's it gonna take to make me an honest man?
WJBW Orlando, the very first quasi-radio web show.